Hello, good evening.
Good
Hello.
evening, sir.
Good evening.
Welcome to the webinar. So, sir, we are still waiting for many people to enter. We'll wait for 5 more minutes, 2-3 minutes more, and then we will start the webinar.
Good evening, parents. Such a pleasure to have you all here. We are admitting the parents. We'll wait for 1 more minute and then we get started. Okay, we see a lot of parents. Few of the names are familiar ones. Few of them are new. Can we put it in the chat box? Where have we joined from?
Good evening, parents. It's a pleasure to have all of you on Friday evening for a topic which is very, very close to all of us heart. I can see many parents still joining in. I welcome all of them who are on board and who all are coming in. I can see parents joining from Bangalore, Kerala, Bangalore, Coimbatore, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Pune. It seems like parents from South India are really excited about this webinar, and we all are collectively going to discuss few things which can actually help you in your journey as a special parent and navigate through the NIOS secondary school examinations. I welcome Rajni ji from Pune. I welcome Fanisiri ji from Hyderabad. I welcome Nikita Krasta from Mumbai. Kaviko, our star speaker, and his family. Special welcome to you. And thank you very much for taking out time to be part of this webinar and share your journey. So I invite my program director, Ms. Riddhi, to start the webinar.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bhavana. Okay. So it's a pleasure to see you all. Without wasting any time, we are going to start talking about our webinar today. So everybody, welcome to Samarthya's signature program, Swayam Parent Empowerment Series in collaboration with SNCC Rehab Foundation. Many of y'all know me, but most of y'all are very new. So I would like to introduce myself. I am Riddhi Dedhia, the Director of Programs at Samarthya Foundation. I am a special educator by profession into the field for last 13 years. And it has been a pleasure meeting you parents at this platform and imparting all the information, the knowledge that we have that helps you all as a community to grow together. Moving on about Samarthya. We are a center which serves high quality intervention services into multiple things, which is the therapies for occupational therapy, speech therapy. We have multiple regional languages. There are programs which are happening at the center, the Family Resource Center at Pune, and we also have many students join in, online for different sessions. We have whatever programs we've designed we are using tech in it, And the family resource center basically means that we have the child in the center, but all the stakeholders are around them. So as much as a child is important, we believe that the family, which is the parents and all of them, are also important. We have one-on-one sessions, group sessions. There are different curriculums that we serve, which is around socio-emotional learning. It's called LEND. And we, of course, have Udaan program, which Ms. Bhavna and Ms. Sakshi are going to talk a lot about. A lot of trainings is something that we do. We want to empower the parents to help their child at home. So there are a lot of parent trainings that we do. And of course, public awareness focus, we have inclusive storytelling, which is the NENI books that we introduce to the children and to the families for them to understand what does inclusivity mean. So that's about Samarthya. I would love to introduce my team right now. So whenever I am naming our team members, please say hi and we can know each one of them. So we have Miss Bhavna Pandey, who is our program administrator. She is going to be the lead facilitator as well today for the presentation. We have Miss Sakshi Sapra. She is the program manager and also one of the teachers at Udaan. Sakshi, do you want to just say hi? Okay.
Hello everyone, good evening.
We have Miss Sanika, who is our communication manager, and we have Miss Heer Dedia, who is also our program manager. Miss Heer, if you could just say hi to us. Okay, with that, let's move on. So today's facilitator, just like I said, is going to be Miss Bhavna and Miss Sakshi. I am very excited for this workshop because we have our student as a guest speaker, who is also our current student of the Udaan program, Kaviko. Kaviko, do you want to just unmute yourself and say hi to all of us?
Hi.
Hi. So he is going to share about his experience in the webinar. So please stick around to hear how has he been preparing for the NIOS exam. And we also have Mr. and Mrs. Ambrasan, who are Kaviko's parents, who are also going to share the experience of the entire NIOS journey that they've had. Mr. and Mrs. Ambrasan, can I just ask you all to unmute yourself and introduce yourself?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. It is such a pleasure to have you. I cannot wait to hear your experience from you. And we are doing this entire Swayam webinar in collaboration with SNCC Rehab Foundation, Miss Harshali Kharche. Unfortunately, she can't join in for the webinar, but on her behalf, I am going to introduce SNCC Rehab Foundation. It is a foundation which is, so the full form of it is Special Needs Integration Center. It is something which is made for a rehab center, which is made for the children. And it is a space where, there's a lot of advocacy. Harshali Kharche is a parent of 2 children who are on autism spectrum. So she has come with a vision to empower parents of children with special needs and ensure that they have a very good space where they can thrive. Their mission is to sensitize and educate the society. So it's not only the children, but making the entire society inclusive and help them understand what does inclusivity mean. It also is with its mission to have clarity about myths and the misunderstandings that are there around the whole special needs. Her motto is to set the foundation of a parent's body capable of providing resolutions to the challenge. So she ensures that her program would include, awareness programs, parent empowerment. She does a lot of activities for children with special needs. There are a lot of financial advisory and financial related webinars that SNCC conducts. She is a huge advocate for the rights of the parents and a huge support, especially where she is right now, for the community, for the mental health and the physical health of the parents. And she's a support system for the parents. She has a lot of programs, and I don't think I'm making justice in telling what Harshali does at SNCC Foundation. Having said that, I'm gonna hand it over to Ms. Bhavna. Ms. Bhavna, I would love you to start and share everything that we need to know about NIOS and Udaan. Over to you, Ms. Bhavna.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Riddhi, and the entire team of Samarthya. Um, Thank you, parents, for joining us for this webinar. I personally say thanks to everybody in the present right now and participating in this webinar. For the sanity of the program, I request all of you to keep yourself on mute, but feel free whenever you want to participate, ask a question, raise your hand, or share any feedback. It will be good if this webinar is more interactive. That's the reason we have Kaviko and his family here. We want lots of experience sharing. We want lots of knowledge sharing rather than it's us who are talking. I would like to hear from some senior parents also who have gone through the 10th grade examination of their child. So let's start it from the start. Why are we today talking about NIOS 10th grade exam stress? We know NIOS program is a very vast, very extensive program. We know what are the benefits of it. I don't want to talk all about that because then it'll become a like 3 hours show. I don't want to do that. Today, our focus is on the exams and the preparation of exams. Uh, this is the time of exams in the sense that for CBSE, whether it is ICSE or it is NIOS, this is the time when every student, particularly who is preparing for senior secondary and secondary exams, is totally engrossed in the preparation. But unfortunately, unlike CBSE and ICSE, there's not much discussion around NIOS preparation. And NIOS preparation, especially for those children who have challenges in learning, for those children who are neurodiverse. Because when we talk about their preparation, then we are not just talking about child's role in it, we are talking about parents' role also. So Samarthya Foundation has been lucky to start a program which was very focused on the success of a child in NIOS 10th grade. And when I say success, then it means not just the knowledge gathering, but also clearing the 10th grade exam with ease and with pride. So I thought this is the time, and we started this program last year, and this is the I'm so glad to share that Kaviko was our one of the brightest student in the program, and he is today sitting here when he's just few days away from his exam. We worked with him throughout the year. We tried to, and his school also worked extensively with him. His parents also worked extensively with him, and he's all set to sit for an exam. We thought that his experience and our knowledge may help many other parents who are sitting here today and trying to figure out a path for their students. So we will talk about on various issues, but strictly related to the exams of 10th grade. I will quickly go through the benefits of NIOS. I am aware of the fact that all of you who have joined here understand what is NIOS. You all appreciate it for its flexible learning environment, one of the most progressive education board in India, which gives so much flexibility to our children and which matters a lot for our children with neurodiversity, that you can pass on, you can study at your own pace, you can study at your own choice, you can study with ease, and the exams do not become burden for you. So NIS is a very, very flexible learning environment. The courses which NIS offers on the 10th grade level, which is secondary level, are very much customized. Yes, they have a particular framework that you have to pick up, mandatory one language, you can pick up one vocational. So there are, groups through which you have to pick up, but still in those groups, there is a huge flexibility, which actually works in favor of the child. Inclusive admission policies and inclusive examination policies, amazing policies done with lots of thought process. I don't want to get into the whole detail because it will take lots of time. Inclusive admission policies would means that they'd welcome all kinds of students with all kinds of challenges, or whether they are learning challenges or cognitive challenges. Everybody deserves a great education, and they enable this. Adaptable examination system. We will talk about this in detail in today's this thing. How exam process, which is very stressful for NIOS student, for any student of this age, what NIOS has done to make it little easy. Recognition of prior learning is one of another very important aspect of NIOS. You would have come from any other board, you would have done any other grade, but it does not happen when you move to NIOS that everything goes zero. You can always carry forward all your learning, you can carry forward your credits. Supportive learning resources and inclusive education initiative. We all know these are the very, very important points. So I would like to start with the provisions during the exams which are available for our children. So I will start from the application and certification process. We all know that the NIOS gives lots of accommodations and facilities for children with special needs. But for this, the first and the foremost requirement is a disability certificate. All those who are preparing and or appearing for 10th grade exam this year or in the coming session or in the next session must have their disability certificates ready, intact, certified from government. There is a huge process of securing a disability certificate, and our organization, Samarthya, actually works a lot in this. Any parent who requires further help in this, they can reach out to us to know that. Once your disability certificate is ready, then that's one provision. With that, you can apply for various kind of provisions. You can apply for various kinds of helps. You can, I will list it down in next few slides. We will talk about what all is available. For during the exam, you get additional time, which is 20-minute extra time. If you have secured your disability certificate and if you have applied for all the accommodation into the regional director office. Remember, 10th grade accommodations are always, they are coming from the regional director. Either if your child is enrolled in a center or in a school which is coordinating with the regional director, they will send all the information to them. If it is not, then probably directly you will have to do it. But once you do that, then your child is entitled of 20 minutes extra time. He is also entitled for short breaks up to 10 minutes per hours. If a child gets overwhelmed, the first and the most thing which comes in our knowledge is that child he knew everything. He knew all the answers, but he got so overwhelmed with the whole, environment and the process that he forgot. So he requires break. He required 10 minutes break. He requires some kind of, time stop. So he can demand for it officially. He can demand 10 minutes break per hour. Provision of scribes. There is a huge, we have lots of questions arriving to us. Who can be scribe? How my child will get the scribe? I will try to answer all those questions. But currently, in short, I would like to tell you that anybody can be your scribe. To few years back, there was a very rigid policy that a student who is one grade up or one grade down can only be the scribe. Your parents cannot be scribe, but all those things are gone. Any parent, anybody, your brother, your sister, your neighbor, your friend, anybody can be your scribe. And when we say scribe does not mean only scribe. Scribe also includes, reader. There is a possibility that your child can write everything. He does not need any writing assistance, but sometimes he's not able to understand the question. He requires a reader. More than a writer, he requires a reader. You can also ask for that. There is a provision of it. You will get it. And even a lab assistant. You can even ask for a lab assistant as per your requirement. So these are the all the children who are certified on autism spectrum, cerebral palsy, intellectual disability, all kinds of disabilities which you are seeing in front of your screen, they can ask for these things. And use of computers and assistive devices, which means that your child can take a calculator inside the examination hall. Your child can take Ava's app inside the examination hall. Your child can take his own iPad, his own digital tools inside the examination hall and use these devices to give his exams. So I have listed down quite a few here, but there are many more. If you want to know about it in detail, you can always go to the NIOS site and talk about get the information on it. There can be special seating and examination room arrangements also. We all know that our children have sensory challenges. You know that our children may require noise cancellations. You know our children may require wheelchair assistance. They may require assist buildings. All kind of this thing are available with NIOS. You have to specifically list down the things, send an application to the regional director. You have to not only send it to the regional director, it'll be really good if you can go to the center also and give a copy to them also, meet them prior and get all that information ready so that your child can get this kind of information available. Uh, Examination logistics and special considerations. Even the examination answer sheets for children with special needs or neurodiversities are packed separately. They are checked separately. You know, they are not checked by regular uh, paper checkers. There are people who understand diversities. There are people who are qualified special educators. These copies will go there. Special schools may be designated as exam centers. So which means if your child is going for an exam center, and if you have chosen, you know, a lot will depend on what exam center you choose or the school where you have enrolled in chooses. So in case they choose a special education, a special school for as a center, then lots of other supportive systems will be available there. So, and there is a provision for these additional accommodations. Only thing is that you have to tell your regional director in writing at least 4 weeks in advance. So we all know that the April to March, there are uh, two timelines of NIS exam. One exam happens in April to May slot. Another happens in October to November slot. And in between, if your child is ready and you want to give an exam, you can also demand an exam, which is called on-demand exam. So this was just a quick review of what all facilities are available. But what happens, in spite of many facilities available, sometimes we do not know how to use that. And it is not just about facilities, it is about a 360-degree assistance which your child requires. He requires provisions, he requires physical assistance, he requires emotional guidance also. He requires some strategies also how to crack the exam. He requires some strategies how to prepare for those exams, what to learn, what to leave. So all these things are which should be talked about, discussed, work with your school and the tutor who is taking your child's extra classes. When they understand it, they prepare your child for those exams. I have already talked about alternative assessment, adapted furniture. I have talked about reading assistance. I have already spoken about personal equipment. You can take your personal equipment, but obviously with the permission. We have to take the permission. Now, I would like to quickly take few important points, discuss about few important points about NIS exam patterns and preparations. Exams, April, May, October, November, and on demand. Never be in hurry for your child to appear. Okay. Oh, it's April exam is coming. My child has to appear for April exam. He has to give 5 exams in April. No way. I'm sure you all know that you can give 1 exam. You can do 2 exams. If your child is not prepared, do not hesitate to delay him for next batch. Next batch, when I say If your child is not prepared to give exam in April and May, wait, let him prepare, let him do more revisions, and let him sit in October, November. In case you have, you want to do it in mid, you can always write to the board and you can always prepare him to give an exam in June or in July or in August. So you have practically throughout the year opportunities available, but your child might not be ready. Don't push him. Don't push him. The day he has finished his syllabus at least twice, he has done revisions, he has done worksheets, he is able to answer your questions verbally as well as in written. You have understood the pattern of the exam, whether it is a practical exam, whether it's a theoretical exam. Theoretical exam is for 1 mark or a question, or the 4 mark question, or the 3 mark question, whatever it is. Until and unless your child is familiar with the exam pattern, do not push him just because the time is coming, just because that upcoming exam slot is coming. You have 5 years, you have full 5 years to finish that class. So take it easy. One language compulsory to take, 4 academic subjects compulsory to take. Out of 4, you can take 1 vocational subject also. Our fabulous student Kaviko, who's here, who will be talking to you after my presentation. He very smartly took English, and in vocational study he took basic computing. Basic computing was a vocational subject, but now it is available. You can combine it into the academics also, and it's a practical subject, very easy to learn. Children will not, it's not so. One way, if you're taking always combine. If you're taking English as which is very language heavy subject, then combine it with home science, or combine it with the, your computer science. So that always choose your subjects very, very smartly. Divide, as I said, divide one difficult subject. Always do it in two. At Samarthya, we believe in doing 2 exams, then 2 exams, and then 1 exam. If a child is very bright, we can do 2 exams plus 3 exams. Otherwise, we can do 1, 2, and 3. So there are different kind of combinations which you can choose so that the student does not get overwhelmed. These are very academic specific things, but it is not just about the student, it is about parents also. Kaviko's parents will talk about how much they prepared. I have seen them throughout the year, working so hard with their child. They keep all the track, they keep when the exam dates are being announced, they keep when the TLM dates are announced. So you also, when the moment you know the exams are coming near, the exam will be happening in April, always check your dates, keep the date sheet in front of the child, put it in front of his table, remind him that he has exam so that he's mentally prepared. Explain him so many days are left, this is your strategy, this is how you have to study. Download your entry cards, keep all your documents ready in a folder. It's always good to keep it. You may not, because once you have already applied, you may not be needing all of them, but sometimes maybe at the last moment you decide to change the subject, you may want to do anything else, all your documents should be ready. Choose your exam center very, very wisely. This is the most important thing which I want to tell to parents, that most of the parents choose the exam center which is either in the school where they are enrolled with, and they choose the exam center, or when parents choose it on their own, they choose it something which is very near to their house, which is a good thing. But I will suggest that you always choose an exam center which is disability friendly. There are many special schools who have been given the stature of exam center, because if your child requires any kind of assistance, all the physical assistance will be available there. B, the mentality, the mindset, the people, the staff, they know how to handle your child with empathy. So it will be always good that you choose your exam center very wisely. And most important thing, give all your requirement, whatever you need. If you need scribe, if you need reader, if you need wheelchair, if you need any kind of support, give that requirement in written to your regional director. Nowadays, everything is done by the NIOS regional director. go there physically. I'm not too sure if there is a provision of online application or something, but it is always good to go there physically and give this application. Sometimes your school would have done it for you. Then it's a different case, but still insist if in case you can accompany them and understand about this. So these are some general, preparations. Now, I would like to invite my co-host and the teachers, Sakshi ma'am. I and Sakshi ma'am together have been preparing Kaviko and other students to appear for 10th grade exam. And we would like to talk about the very subject specific strategies. When you appear, when you're planning to appear for 10th grade examination, understanding what is the exam, how does it look like, what should be your strategy, what is the marking scheme. So, Sakshi, if you could please take our participants through this journey and explain them that we are talking about English, home science, and computer science currently. How, if any student who's appearing for these three exams or for any exam for that matter, how should he or she prepare?
Thank you so much, Bhavna ma'am. Good evening, parents. I'm really glad that all of you have joined. All of you have taken out so much time and joined this webinar. Really glad to have you all here. So before diving into subject-specific guidance, I would like to talk about how to choose subjects for your child. So it's really important to choose the subjects which align with their interest and aptitude both. It is really important to see interest is fine, but then you also need to see the aptitude of your child. Aptitude is just basically the capabilities, if they are capable or not, to learn a particular subject or to acquire the concepts that are related to that particular subject. You can have interest in a particular subject, but you can lack aptitude in that subject, and that would make it difficult for you to score good marks. So that is really important when you're choosing the subjects. One language is compulsory and you have to take 4 academic subjects with it. So you need to see where the interest and aptitude it matches. You can go for that particular subject. And NIOS website is such a good resource hub. You have all the information available there. You have a list of the list of all the subjects that you can choose from. So you can explore that if you want to see the list of all the subjects. Now we are just talking about 3 subjects because we are short on time that way. So let me start with English first. So again, this information, the division of syllabus, everything is available on the NIOS website. You can download it, the sample question paper, the marking scheme, the course content, everything from the website. So English, if you have a good language command, you can definitely go for it. And as you can see, it's divided into 4 parts, and the paper pattern for NIOS is generally 50-50. So 50% is objective and 50% is subjective. So if you're good at objective, you still have 50%, you can score 50%. And if you're good with subjective answers, that is open-ended questions, you can still score 50%. So it's divided equally, not like your generic CBSE or IGSE, which is divided like almost 30 and 70% is subjective over there. So here, as you can see, the paper is of 100 marks and is divided in such a way. Literature is of 30 marks only, and rest 70 marks is covered by your comprehension passage. You just have to comprehend the passage and answer the questions. Grammar and writing skills. Now the first 3 components, they can be achieved by an individual or by the student by just practicing comprehension passages, by just practicing grammar exercising on daily basis. Even if you're reading a passage and you're answering, you're explaining, and you're practicing that way, it will be really helpful for your English examination. And another thing is you're solving as many sample papers as you can. During the preparation, So some of the students and some of the teachers also, they guide the student that first you cover the course and then you start seeing the sample papers. But it's always better to start solving the paper as you go by. It actually clears your concept more. It actually gives you an idea that whatever you're covering theoretically, how is it going to be asked in the examination. So this is just the basic paper pattern, basic information that you can easily get from the NIOS website. Now this is the division of syllabus. Now if you have this with you, half of your work is already done. So I'm sure all of you must know that TMA which is 40% of the syllabus. This is not the part of your examination. And the public examination syllabus, that is your 60% of the syllabus that comes in your examinations. So you need to understand the division of the course. That is extremely, extremely important. And then you can prioritize your lessons, your how you're going to cover the course accordingly. So this was all about English. Home science, again, you need to understand the paper pattern of home science. Again, it's divided into two parts: objective types and subjective types. As you can see, it's of 85 marks, and then 43 marks is your objective type questions. Objective type questions includes MCQs, true and false, fill in the blanks, one word answers are required. So basically you're just learning the keywords. Again, a very important technique when you're preparing for your exams. And 50% of the paper is divided into subjective questions. That is very short answer questions, and long answer questions. And if you could see the weightage of the pattern of the paper: knowledge, understanding, and application. So understanding is still 50%. So when you are revising the theory, so a lot of students have this doubt, and a lot of students have faced this difficulty that they read the content. Their theoretical aspects are really good. If the questions are direct, they will be able to answer all the questions. But if they are a little bit application based or practical based, if they are in terms of higher order thinking skills, they tend to get nervous, or they fumble with it, they get confused, even though they have a strong theoretical base. Strong theoretical base. But the paper pattern is in such a way that for understanding, that is your key theoretical concepts, you still have 50% marks allotted to that. So that is another one of the biggest advantages of understanding the paper pattern. Again, this is the division of syllabus of home science. 40% of the syllabus, which is TMA, is not part of your examination. And public examination, again, home science is really practical subject. It includes all the topics that are part of our daily life. So students generally know most of these things, and they have covered it throughout their previous year of education, be it CBSE board or IGCSE board or NIOS board. So understanding the division of syllabus is extremely important. If you have done that, half of the work is already done. Then to talk about basic computing, I'll hand this over to Bhavna ma'am, because she's the best person to talk about basic computing and data entry operations.
Yeah, thanks, Sakshi. So you would have, Sakshi explained about English and home science. So you'll have to understand the difference between both the subjects. English is theory subject, whereas the home science is a more practical subject. Basic computing is also practical subject. When you take practical subject, then it means if the child is not good in, you fear that my child will not be able to read and write more, but he can do the things. Then obviously choosing a good practical subject really helps. Home science is more practical, and we have seen children secure very good marks in practical subjects. So unlike, as Sakshi told you, that in English, some part of it will come in exam. 60% of the syllabus will come in exam, and only 40 to 45% syllabus will be such which those chapters which will not come in exam. You'll have to just do some writing works. You have to prepare some notes which are called tutor marked assignments, TMA. You will have to just do those chapters for TMAs. Child do not need to learn those chapters for exam. But in basic computing is a purely practical. It's a practical subject. Here, there's no TMA and exam syllabus bifurcation. Child will have to prepare for all the chapters. There are 15 to 16 chapters given in basic computing. You can see it here. Child will have to prepare for all the chapters, but there will be a huge more weightage given to the practical also. So from 40 marks theory paper will come from the entire book. You have no choice of choosing, leaving some chapters, and you can't say that these chapters will not come in basic computing. Anything can come in basic computing, but it will be only for 40 marks. The paper will be for 40 marks. Questions will be one mark, very easy, one-liner. Keywords, one-liner questions, that will come for 40 marks, and 60 marks will go to the practical. When the practical will happen, your child will be asked to do these things, format a document, merge the mail. They will be given a situation statement where they will be asked to do in front of the examiner. They will be asked to do those many things. So usually children, our children are very good in computer. I know Kaviko can do it in like, sometimes it is difficult to figure out the right word for it, but he can do it. So if you're secure, and you have to have 30, pardon my ignorance, it is, I think, 33% percentage or 40% aggregate in theory and in practical. Altogether, if your child secures that much, so he is able to do it. What you can see here, 40% theory, 60% practical. So the difference, what I'm trying to tell you, the difference between theoretical subject and the practical subject is that, and the practical subjects, basic computing, which is vocational subject, which is you have no choice of TMA and this thing, everything will come in paper. But nowadays, how we work when we have to teach a child, we see the weightage of a chapter in the question paper. So there are some topics which have huge weightage. There are 50 to 60% chances that these topics must come in the paper. We prepare child more on that. And there are topics which are just 20% weightage or 25% weightage, or less than any chapter which has less than 30% weightage. As per the last 10 years marks, we do a very basic, we do practice of that with the last year's exams and all. I would like to take a stop here. And I would now, we have lots of things to talk about. The screen, what you are seeing is the way we teach. It is all the subject. That's the one, another big question from my parents, that the NIOS books are very heavy. They are very text heavy. It's very difficult to go through it. They are very boring. How to make child learn, how to make child remember the keywords, how to make child understand how to do it. And that's where my entire Samarthya team works very hard to create very short, bite-sized chapters, make it more visual, write the answers in very simple, precise one. So if you see here, there are 4 different images which are there in front of you on the screen, and they are almost 2 pages, 3 pages chapters detailing in the NIOS books. We don't go by that. We just pick up the whole thing, put it into more visual matter, make bold points of it, color the most important information or definition, we create charts out of it, and we convert. This is very, very important for any parent or any school which is teaching, which is preparing the child for the 10th grade exam. When the how comes, then this is the most important thing, that pick up lots of visuals. Put those visuals, put the basic information, write the information in a very short and precise manner so that child is able to learn it, visually see it and learn it. So these are the techniques which we can talk about in detail. But before that, the most important thing that today's webinar is of Kaviko and his parents. I would like to invite Kaviko and I will request Sakshi to speak to Kaviko. I know there are a few questions also in the chat box. After this, we will take those questions. I would like to understand from Kaviko about his experience throughout the year to prepare for 10th grade exam. So, Sakshi, I'll hand it over to you if you can. I'll stop sharing my screen and I request you to take ask questions from Kaviko. After that, I'll speak to their parents.
Hi, Kaviko. Good
evening,
evening.
ma'am.
So, would you like to tell everyone about your experience with NIOS?
Yes, ma'am.
Over to you then.
So basically, when I joined NIOS, I was so happy that there are less portions for the exam to appear, and soon the happiest thing is I was so happy to enter the news CBC campus in my school. Basically, I was so sad to leave my friends alone in my old school in the main campus. So for the NIOS, the basic thing is I liked studying that thing more than the GCSE. So NIOS is the basic like the text based questions, and it's also coming from the book. The answers also coming from the book, and also I just liked it, and I'm going to be appearing in May.
I request parents to unmute themselves. Yes, Kaviko, continue.
So when I was moving to when I was going to NIOS, I was so shocked to see that I have none of the friends that I was soon to be alone, and I had to
Hello,
be still more friends.
Sanika, can you please
Mr.
see?
Sujaraj, can you please mute yourself? I tried muting you, but you've unmuted yourself. Please mute yourself. If you have any questions, feel free to write it in the chat box. We'll be more than happy to answer. Thank you so much. So sorry. Please continue. Kaviko, please continue.
When my parents told me that when I go to I'm transferred to CBC campus for examination for NIOS, I was so happy to know that I'm going there, and I was I'll be appearing for exams there itself, and I don't know about the school because I was for only practicals. They told that I'm going to school for practicals only. But soon was discussed that the teachers to help me like to teach me that in my school that there are three teachers for basically for home science and basic computing and English respectively. During the time when I was going to join the school, the CBSE, I was so sad that I was I was about to leave. I was about to be alone in the school itself. So there were lots of people around me: the principal, the front desk, the teachers, the class teacher, and the subject teacher respectively, and as well as the staffs also were there. So I was so expected to I was expecting very nice to see my old teacher for home science who was basically my assistant teacher in 3rd grade, and my classmates when I was in primary school, since the day when I was in 3rd grade when I joined in main campus. Sooner I can I have lots of friends aside my side, and it was so happy to continue my life through this.
That's amazing, Kaviko. Would you like to talk about how you prepare for your exams? How are you preparing for your exams, and what is going on with your classes, NIOS classes? How are you?
I would
Yeah.
like to add here one thing for our viewers. Kabiko has an amazing understanding, very good comprehension. He understands various things, but sometimes Kabiko faces a huge challenge in expressing his thoughts and putting them into the right wordings. In spite of that, he is preparing with all his strengths. So, Kabiko, would you like to put little more light on it? That when you are you able to write it? How do you memorize your notes, and how do you ensure that you can write what is coming to your mind?
So basically, when I was updated, like when I was in 9th standard, initially,
NIOS, how are you preparing for NIOS?
Preparing for NIOS.
How is Samatya doing? How is the school teaching? How is the...
basically in Samatya, when I joined Samatya, I was soon to have seen the comprehension in English and basic computing. I have seen the first chapter and home science respectively, for whichever activities are performed. I was so happy, I was attending lots of classes. I was going through the book and memorizing it, and as well as the notes. In school itself, my teacher tells me to go through the textbook or the revision paper kind of, and my teacher writes out the questions in the notebook, and I answer through it by what I memorize, and I can write on my own words, like writing synopsis.
Great, that's amazing. So there are few strategies which we figured out for Kaviko. There are few strategies which Kaviko understood while learning with us. So which I can quickly recall is that first, Kaviko requires keywords or the key pointers written in a sequence. So he can pick up that sequence, he remembers it that way. Kaviko needs to give connect lots of understanding with these examples. And then obviously, what we do, we pick up any chapter, we just pick up the very important point of those. We don't teach the entire chapter to him. We pick up very important points of those chapters, make small one-liner notes. Best rule with him, which we do with every child, is do not go beyond one line. Any answer cannot go beyond one line, 1.5 line. That is good enough to write your answer in secure numbers. So Kaviko has been I'll say very proactive and a brave boy, and he's a self-advocate. He advocates for his own needs. He understands. Sometimes he even fights with us. No, ma'am, this is not the thing. I have done it. This is happening. Can you tell me? So he has been very actively involved in it, and more than him, his parents have been involved in his exam preparations. It's a very beautiful model which has emerged. Parents, Kaviko school, and Samarthya. This is a three-way thing which is happening, and everybody is doing their own role. Parents, I would first of all like to know from them. It was a huge. I remember when they came to us last year, it was a big question in their mind. Kaviko was going to inclusive school. I think Kaviko is still in an inclusive school, but for them the idea was that they want to push him from CBSE to NIOS. So, sir, there were lots of doubts in your mind. There were lots of apprehensions. After a year, I want to understand from you, and it will really help many more parents who are still struggling with the same question. What would you like to tell to them that how was your journey? What did you find by switching over his board? And what are you feeling today when he's preparing for the 10th board exam, NIS?
Thank you, ma'am. From our experience, we thought he can continue as long as he could in the IGCSE board. So he was with the IGCSE board, and when he came to 9th standard, we figured out that he has trouble in he can memorize, he will remember things, but when he sees a question paper, he gets lost. So he can't write. Immediately somebody has to prompt him. At home, if we ask the same question, we read out the question to him, he'll write it down. But at school, there was no help for him, and we realized, okay, let's move him on to NIOS, and we talked to Samarthya, thanks to that. And we also met the school. School is also an NIOS center. So we went to the school, talked to the school there, and they said, okay, let us move in. And then we realized, okay, let's make things simple for him. Let's not push him too much. Let's make things simple for him. And then the education started. So we thought of selecting the subjects first. So he wanted adamantly that he wanted to do mathematics, because mathematics is his very favorite subject, and was very strong in mathematics. And even during his IGCSE, his teachers used to tell the speed at which he can mentally calculate and give an answer. He does it very fast. He likes mathematics. He likes numbers. He likes remembering things. Even when we go on road trips, he looks at distances, then he looks at the speed. He said, okay, by this time we'll reach. So that kind of calculation he'll quickly do in his mind and tell us. So mathematics, he wanted adamantly, said, okay, fine, we'll do that. And we had hired a private tutor to come home and teach him. And he had actually prepared two kids for NIOS, and they have gone to college. So he said, no worries, we'll take care of him. We'll push him through this NIOS exam without any problem. So then we decided English has to be, of course, English is something we have to take. So English we decided to take. Then we decided to talk to NIOS, to the school and to Samarthya, and we decided these are the subjects we're going to take, like social science, home science, basic computing, and English. These are subjects we chose. Then we decided to break it down. We didn't want to get going in one go. We decided, okay, let us break it down into we'll write the exams in three phases. Not even two. We went into 3 phases. So his practicals is he's going to home science and basic computing. Practicals is going to appear next month, and then my exam will be in May, and in the month of August we decided we'll do 2 more papers, and we decided one paper at the last. To mathematics will be at last. So we had sort of decided, let us take it step by step, and we are really happy that the last one here he has shown a lot of interest. Even we forget things, he will remember and say, today I have Samarthya class, I am not going out anywhere. He'll go prepare his laptop, get ready, and sit and attend that. And his private tutor sometimes comes home. I mean, 3 days a week he comes home to teach mathematics. And we also put him in another center here close by, where he's going for science classes. So science is they are teaching him science, and he's attending that last 2 months. He's been since January. He's going there. So that's
so what I understand and what I truly appreciate about your planning for your child is that you spanned it out, nicely spanned it out. You did not push one attempt. You are saying even 3 attempts. I've seen usually parents say 2 attempts, but I am really glad that you said 3 attempts, because there's no hurry. Child has to be very, very comfortable doing it. So one, and I would like to take this tip from his mother also. This always spoke about the academic preparation. What is that mental? What is that heart preparation? Child is going for 10th grade exam. It is a milestone. Everybody's stressed in the family. Child is stressed. Ma'am, do you want to give one tip to our parents about it?
See, don't get stressed, actually. Let them go on their own pace. Don't push them. Let them go on their own pace. Whatever they learn, they have to reproduce. So if you push them, they will easily forget everything and they can't reproduce in the paper. So they have to do slowly only. So in that case, for him, what we are doing is we are preparing him according to the materials what Samarthya has given, what school has given. I'll ask him to read out the paper slowly, one by one, each lesson a day. Like that, we are preparing him.
Yes, each lesson is day, one step a time. That's a beautiful strategy which will help. Thank you. Please stay with us, because there are many more parents who may have questions which you can answer. And I have so many things to share, but first, I have lots of questions in the chat box. This is the right time to take it quickly. Sakshi, it will be easier for me if you can start taking the question. I start with one question answer, and we have Dr. Jaspreet with us as one of our participant. There is a very good understanding between Samarthya and Dr. Jaspreet. I tell you, Samarthya is not an NIOS center. We are not accredited center. What we do is we just try to support the child in his learning. We all are special educators. So those people who do not have any center, who are very confused, you all know that first you have to enroll your child into a center, and then your child appears for an exam. So in case anybody wants to know anything about the center admission, how it happens. So if a child comes to us, he wants to take Samarthya's facilities and the services, and he also wants to enroll in NIOS. There's Dr. Jaspreet who helps us to get that child enrolled. Throughout the country, there's no necessity of being in a particular city. I will call Dr. Jaspreet for more, as and when we will get more questions related to it. But currently, let me quickly pick up one or two questions which are there in the chat box. So I have Maria Ranjit. She is saying that if the parent is writing the whole paper, then what is the point of this exam? So, ma'am, this is a very classic question. I remember Dr. Jaspreet's one line that the NIOS exam is about testing the knowledge, not the expression of knowledge. Which means that if your child knows what he knows, and if he can put it in any way, so what we want to know that he has that knowledge. Maybe he can express that knowledge by painting, maybe he can express that knowledge by typing, maybe he can express that knowledge by dancing. He can do, there are various ways of expressing this. What matters most is your child knows that. And if he speaks that, like I know various students who they know the answer, but they cannot speak it. Or they know they can speak it, but they cannot write it. So please remember that we consider this entire system is that way, is considered. So don't worry. It is not that you are writing the answer for your child. If you are doing it then you are beating the purpose. You are just writing what your child is expressing, the knowledge which he or she is sharing. Where to get the sample papers from? Online, there are various sample papers available. The way CBSE sample papers, if you Google NIOS sample papers, there are 1,000 publishers who are doing it. And even on the website also, the previous year's question papers alongside the subjects will be available. Please tell us vocational subjects, any information from NIOS board. My son passed main subject and yoga vocational. He's passed these subjects October. Now my question is, he needs to take extra subject or what? I will later push on this subject to Jaspreet. She's the right person to give that answer. I'll just pick up two more questions. Where to find info about centers from contact classes? Present info not correct in Vizag. Question 9 required to appear for question 10. Any link YouTube channel for guidance or paid idea about fees. So any kind of the preparation if you need. If your child is appearing for 10th grade paper, you don't know how to teach him. This is what Samarthya is doing. You come to us, we prepare your child subject by subject, by giving him right notes, by giving him 3 days classes, 1.5 hour class, 3 days in a week. We prepare him for all that. So there are various other, please inform more Udaan program के बारे में हम इसके end में बात करेंगे. Do you have ready notes available like basic computing for some? Yes, we have ready notes. Every chapter we have digitized. As I was showing the slide that we have summarized the chapter, keywords, key lines, lots of visuals, big text, color text, which are very keywords. We have all the chapters are summarized, and after the class, we provide those notes to our students. Which chapters have more weightage? That I can tell you, this is like, we know that there are 5 to 7 chapters which have more than 50% weightage. That is available with us. We do that. Riddhi, what do you suggest? Should I open the forum for quick question answer round? And then we do because Dr. Jaspreet is also here.
Yes, we should. Hello,
Okay.
Miss Jaspreet. Such a pleasure to have you. We are so happy that you've joined in.
And
Hi,
Riddhi,
Riddhi.
you know, it happened so promptly. I sent her the invite for today's webinar, and she said, "Yeah, I will come. You don't need to worry." I said, "Please come," because
Yes.
she has been our savior. Yes, Dr. Jaspreet, it's all to you. And I request
Bhavna,
all my
first and
parents.
foremost, I still don't have my doctorate, so please, it's not just Dr. Jaspreet. Let's not take credit away. I'm just Miss Jaspreet. That's all.
Great.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
Miss Jaspreet is also, like me, a special need parent. She has a great success story. If you ever get time, go check any YouTube channel. She has a lovely daughter who has passed out the NIOS, and she's so welcoming when you go to her center. So great to connect with you. I will request all the parents to raise their hand one by one. And Sakshi and Riddhi, if you can just manage this, that will be a great help.
Sure, sure, sure. So parents, in case if you all have questions, feel free to unmute yourself, raise your hand, and we
Reena
will
Singh
take
ji?
up one at a time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Amana.
Reena Singh ji.
Yes, ma'am. Can you understand Hindi?
जी मैम, आप अच्छे से हिंदी में
हाँ।
भी बात कर सकते हैं जी।
हाँ, मेरा मेन क्वेश्चन है क्योंकि मेरी बेटे को जैसे चैप्टर होता है, लेसन्स होता है, तो वो थोड़ा देर में समझ में आता है, ठीक है, टाइम लेता है। तो अभी उसने योगा एज ए वोकेशनल सब्जेक्ट लिया है और लिया था, और ये वोकेशनल सब्जेक्ट लिया था, और अभी अप्रैल में इंग्लिश और बिजनेस स्टडी देने जा रहा है। तो मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि क्या उसे आगे एक्स्ट्रा सब्जेक्ट लेना होगा, क्योंकि उसे थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट जाएगा। होम साइंस नेक्स्ट अक्टूबर में देगा, प्लस ये एक्स्ट्रा सब्जेक्ट लेना होगा या नहीं लेना होगा, एनी आइडिया?
Bhavna, is it okay if I take that question?
This is to you only, ma'am.
Okay, so for everybody here, a notification, no notification came. Actually, the shock came when the result was announced on 26th January, and everybody who taken the October exam, sorry ma'am, मैं हिंदी में बोलती हूँ, दोनों languages बोलती हूँ. So उसमें I'm sure ये तो आपको पता ही होगा, तो उसमें सभी लोगों का suddenly XX आ गया, और वो पूरे इंडिया में शॉक वेव फैल गई कि ये क्या सडनली हो गया है। सो मैम, बहुत पहले एक नोटिफिकेशन आया था 2022 में, जिसमें ये लिखा था कि अगर आप डीईओ लो 10th में तो उसके साथ बेसिक कंप्यूटिंग नहीं ले सकते। सो वो सारी कंफ्यूजन को पीछे छोड़ देते हैं, वो वाली बात क्लियर हो गई। 10th फरवरी को वो फाइनली निकल गया कि जितने बच्चों को फेल किया गया था और रादर एक्स दिया गया था अक्टूबर में, सबको पास कर दिया गया। तो अक्टूबर के जो रिजल्ट था उसमें उस कॉम्बिनेशन का जो रिक्वायरमेंट थी उसको हटा दिया गया। अब मैम अप्रैल के एग्जाम के लिए मैं प्रैक्टिकली आपको 99.9% एश्योर कर सकती हूँ कि बहुत जल्दी वो नोटिफिकेशन आने वाला है 2-3 दिन में, जिसमें ये बात कह दी जाएगी कि डी और बेसिक कंप्यूटिंग का कॉम्बिनेशन वैलिड है। हम भी 10th की बात करें तो यहीं पे रहते हैं। तो मैम आई कैन प्रैक्टिकली गारंटी यू कि आपको एक्स्ट्रा सब्जेक्ट नहीं लेना पड़ेगा। अभी नोटिफिकेशन नहीं आया है, बट बहुत जल्दी आने वाला है। मैंने खुद देखा है, इसलिए आने वाला है।
दूसरा क्वेश्चन है कि मेरे बेटे को थोड़ा कॉन्सेप्ट जो भी चैप्टर में है वो थोड़ा समझने में टाइम लगता है, तो आप कैसे हेल्प करोगे उसे?
क्या तो मैम कर रहे हैं, मैम ने परफेक्ट आपको आंसर दे दिया, आप उनसे कनेक्ट कीजिए। वही है मैम जो मैंने मुझे तो पता भी नहीं था, मेरी बातें इतने ध्यान से सुनता है, जो मैम ने बोली बात उठाई। इट्स द NIOS आपका नॉलेज टेस्ट करता है, एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ नॉलेज नहीं टेस्ट करता। मैम NIOS ना, हमारे बच्चे तो न्यूरो डाइवर्जेंट हैं, लेकिन फिर भी इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग फैमिली से हैं, सबको सेंटेंसेस काफी हद तक बनाने आते हैं। NIOS तो उन लोगों के लिए बना है ना जिनको इंग्लिश हिंदी कुछ भी नहीं आता, जो पढ़ ही नहीं पा रहे हैं। अगर वो लोग, उन लोगों से एक एक कीवर्ड अलाउड है, अगर 1 मार्क का क्वेश्चन है 1 कीवर्ड, 2 मार्क्स का है तो 3 कीवर्ड्स, अगर उनसे कीवर्ड अलाउड है तो NIOS ये कहता है कि अगर हम आपसे सवाल पूछ रहे हैं तो आप ये बता दीजिए आपको उसकी समझ है या नहीं। एक या दो शब्दों में भी काम चलेगा, जैसे कि भावना मैम ने बोला, वो लोग तो कर रहे हैं मैम, जो उन्होंने मैम ने आपको एग्जाम्पल दिया बिल्कुल वैसे ही पढ़ाना है।
ओके, थैंक यू।
अर्चना जी।
Actually, just one question I have in addition to what Reena was talking about. You were mentioning for April, you will get an exemption, no, for that DEO and whatever vocational we have taken. But I think if the student is appearing for next year, so they still have to take extra, right?
Again, I think I am over exceeding myself here because Bhavna, this is the only place I kind of will come in. इसके बाद तो आप सब ले सकते हैं।
नहीं, you're most welcome.
थोड़ा सा मैं अपने आप को एक्सीड यहाँ पे और कर रही हूँ मैम। ये अंदर की बात है, कमेटी ऑलरेडी सेटअप हुई है, जिसके ऑलमोस्ट डॉक्टर संध्या कुमार, my mentor and a most beloved person, she is the head of that committee. So future के लिए तो मैम बिल्कुल ही हटाया जा रहा है। Any objection, any kind of combination is going to be possible. The rule that had come a long time ago, where one vocation would be made compulsory, That rule is going to come in within 2 months. Pakka. But anyway, this combination of DE and basic computing is going to be valid from here on. That is what I've been told.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Dinesh ji?
Yeah. Good evening, ma'am. Can I ask my question?
Who's that?
Archana.
Okay, yeah, Archana ji, please ask your question.
So, ma'am, I was more keen on the scribe part. You mentioned that we have to write to the regional director. My study center, I'm from Mumbai, so my Mumbai Thane. So my study center is Shrima. Over there, we have been told that the scribe cannot be an adult or some parent or somebody. So we are little paranoid about the whole thing because my son is having ID and mental retardation with speech impairment. He can communicate, but what he's saying, I can understand, or family members can understand. A child younger than him will not be able to understand what he's saying. So in that scenario, what do I do? What would you guide that I should take the steps to get a scribe for him?
This permission for scribe does not come from the regional centers. It comes from the head office. वो जैसे हम लोग कहते हैं ना, अगर भारत सरकार ने कुछ valid कर दिया तो उसको कोई negate नहीं कर सकता. Similarly, this provision has been made by the head office, NIS head office. I can assure you well in advance. I mean, I'm close to the theory hall ticket. Maybe these people need another reminder. We'll send it to them. Another notification will be issued, which will very clearly state that next of kin is allowed to be a scribe. And once a notification comes out, no study center is able to deny. They absolutely cannot deny. If something like this happens, please write to Bhavna ma'am. She can probably write to me, but I can definitely help you in this. I can assure you, ma'am, no study center will be able, has the authority to, or sorry, no regional center, study center, anybody has the authority to deny. The parents, it's not exactly parents, it's actually the exact words are next of kin, which basically means parents, real or adoptive, real brothers and sisters, not adoptive, and real grandparents. So इनको scribe बनना definitely allowed होगा. Guarantee दे रही हूँ आपको.
ओके, तो बहुत बड़ा टेंशन कम कर दिया आपने मेरे. अच्छा, एक और चीज पूछना था मुझे कि इसमें जो हमको 2 जर्नल्स बनाने को बोला है, तो 2 जर्नल्स आर मैंडेटरी राइट फॉर द प्रैक्टिकल एग्जाम्स, लाइक बेसिक कंप्यूटिंग के लिए जर्नल बोला है एंड फॉर होम साइंस जर्नल बोला है.
मैम, जैसे आप सबका बहुत सिंपल आपको एक्सप्लेन करती हूँ. होम साइंस का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन 80-20 है. भावना जी, would you like to take that? I'm sorry, I've sort of
No,
hijacked.
you take it. You please take it.
So होम साइंस इज 80-20. जो आपके प्रैक्टिकल्स हैं, जो 20 मार्क्स का प्रैक्टिकल है, आई एम श्योर बाय नाउ अक्रॉस इंडिया एवरीबडी नोज कि वो जो 20 मार्क्स का होम साइंस का प्रैक्टिकल है वो 2 पार्ट्स में डिवाइडेड है. 10 मार्क्स का आपका पीसीपी है और 10 मार्क्स का आपका प्रैक्टिकल है. एक पर्सनल कंटैक्ट प्रोग्राम होगा जो आपको स्टडी सेंटर मैंडेटरीली देगा. 10 मार्क्स तो वहां पे निकल गए आपके. जो मैम अब होम साइंस का प्रैक्टिकल बेसिकली सिर्फ 10 मार्क्स का बचा, और उसमें से जो आपकी प्रैक्टिकल फाइल है 10th के लेवल पे, प्लीज एवरीबडी लिसन, इज ओनली 2 मार्क्स. ओके, सो यस, द जर्नल इज वेरी इज मैंडेटरी. जैसे होम साइंस में जर्नल सिर्फ 2 मार्क्स का है, डेटा एंट्री ऑपरेशंस में आपका प्रैक्टिकल 30 मार्क्स का है, मतलब 60 है, 30-32 हो गया ना. योर फाइल इज वर्थ 12 to 15 मार्क्स. Painting may also your journal is worth 12 to 15 marks. Why I'm saying 12 to 15 is because NIS has given this leverage to study centers. कुछ लोग 12 marks का journal और 3 marks का viva करते हैं, और कुछ लोग पूरे 15 marks का journal करते हैं. So मैम, जर्नल तो क्रिटिकल है. हर प्रैक्टिकल, जहां पे भी आपका प्रैक्टिकल कंपोनेंट है वहां पे जर्नल क्रिटिकल है. इट इज अ मैंडेटरी कंपोनेंट.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. So I would like to put more questions on hold, and I would like to finish off the presentation. So we all understood about the exam pressures, about this thing, how do we prepare it. Now I'll quickly take some time to talk about what Samarthya is doing and where do we fit in, where do we fit into this whole scheme of work. I would like to, there were many things which Sakshi also has, Sakshi being a psychologist and child support person with us, I had many things for her, but I'll quickly take time from here. So we all know there is a center where the child enrolls, and the center, there are personal contact classes जो कि बहुत थोड़े समय के लिए होती हैं, उसमें बच्चे का जाना मैंडेटरी होता है. लेकिन अगर हमें 10th के एग्जाम की तैयारी करनी है, there are 3 subjects or 2 subjects child is, his regular study is very important, which means that he has to regularly, whether he's enrolled in a school or not, whether he's at home, whether he's going to school, our children require extra support. They require extra somebody who can teach them on regular basis. What Samarthya comes in, where we fit in, Dr. Jaspreet Center is accredited an NIOS center. We are a coaching, we are a support center in the sense that if your child is already enrolled for a program, we decided that all those children who are, or if your child is even preparing for 10th grade, what we decided that we should prepare our children, to appear for the 10th grade exam nicely, but also this is a very crucial time when your child decides future, whether he wants to get into the vocational training, whether he wants to get into the sports, should he appear for 12th grade or not, should he drop out, should he do some course even after 10th. So this is the right time to understand your child's future potential. If anybody, Udaan is what? Udaan is a, in nutshell, you can see it's a comprehensive program where we do the academic skills. If your child has enrolled in a program, we will take his 3 times a week classes, 1.5 hour classes, subject specific classes where we will prepare him for that subject. We will explain him the chapter. We will explain the chapter as per, short notes. Special educators will teach him those things. Somebody said that my child is not able to understand the concept. We will explain the concept in more visual manner. We will explain the concept in a more auditory manner. But apart from preparing your child for those subjects, we will also prepare him for lifestyle. It means that there will be a counseling, there will be a emotional support, there will be on our team, there are psychologists. On our team, we have occupational therapists. There can be some students who may even require social emotional support. So all that thing, when we assess your child, we will provide him the vocational, pre-vocational knowledge. We'll expose him. For an example, Kaviko has a huge interest in maths. Though we are not preparing for his maths exam right now, we are just preparing for home science and basic computer. But side by side, we are trying to understand what can be his future interest. We would like to expose him. We'll show him some engineering courses. We'll try to find out some robotic courses for him. We will try to connect him with some industry mentor. We will, by the time in next 2-3 in 1 or 2 years when he completes his 10th, we will have another plan ready for him with his parents. So it is not just about Samarthya Udaan is not just about clearing 10th grade exam. Samarthya Udaan program is about understanding at the right time. And this is the right time when your child enrolls for 9th or 10th grade. This is the right time to understand his capability and prepare a future path for him. If we feel that, there can be some students who may not like to get into 11th, 12th, then what can be the options for them? And apart from academics, they may require personal skills. They may require self-awareness. Your child might have very less confidence. Your child might not have ability to speak publicly. These are also the things which are important alongside your 10th exam. So Samarthya is a comprehensive, Udaan is a very comprehensive program. This is what we try to present in this. Quickly, I'll tell you, we are soon going to start open our admissions for the next session. If your child is already going to a school, if he has enrolled for the school, perfect. Kaviko is already going to a school, but in the evenings he joins our classes, he gets extra support, because in a class of 30 students, sometimes he's not able to understand that concept. Here, with the short batch, with currently I think we are doing 101 with them. In a short batch, we do 101 thing with the child. Secondly, it's a 2 years academic program. Currently he'll do 2 subjects, then he'll do next 2. So it will take 25 to March 27. We are targeting this. there will be 3 classes in a week. I have said it will be online. It will be a group class. Who can apply? Anybody who's above 14, who has either enrolled for NIS, or even if he has not enrolled, he can come us. We'll pass that case to Dr. Jasprit. She will enroll that child into her classes, and the child can continue to take the after classes from us. What is the enrollment criteria? Any child can come age wise and who has applied for this. Only thing is the child should have the ability to take the instructions online. He should be able to sit for the class. So it is Udaan is a comprehensive program, and we provide lots of psychological support, not only to the child, but to the parents also. And after the second level, once your child has done your 10th grade, then what is next? Where he can go? Can he, in fact, we try to connect them with the higher education universities also. We have been trying to prepare college readiness schemes with universities. So there is a whole lot of plan which is going on, and Samarthya is that. So anybody who is interested to know more about this program, who wants to, and there's one more thing I want to give that announcement also. Those who we are now starting the revision part. Anybody who wants to even enroll for just 1 month for this upcoming exam and do the revision with us for their child, they can also enroll. You can enroll for 1 month or 2 months. This thing, we will prepare your child. We will revise you still have 2 months time for your child to prepare. Anybody, can I request from my team to share the screen where all the information related to Samarthya program and contact details are there. And last 10 minutes for I open the session for parents to have more questions we can answer for them.
Yes, so there were a few hands raised. Yes, Mr. Dinesh, you can go ahead asking your questions meanwhile.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. Thanks for inviting. Ma'am, actually, I'm from defense and we keep on moving here and there. So presently, I'm in Visakhapatnam. So unfortunately, the center which is shown on the NIOS site is actually not present there. I was told when I approached there that it has been shifted to Hyderabad a year back. So that was very disappointing because I was trying to figure out, as of now, my son is going to CBSE, that inclusive setup. But being this transferable system, that you need to find an alternative for CBSE. So that is the reason I was looking for it. So I request that if you can tell, where do we find information like study centers which are available, and if they are not there, suppose in your city, because we go to remote places also, then is it possible to continue the same online only rather than enrolling yourself to some of the study center?
So I will just give one line answer and then I'll pass on the whole thing to Dr. Jasprit. Sir, enrollment is mandatory. If your child has to appear for NIOS exam, you have to enroll your child to a registered NIOS center. Now that center can be a physical center, and then Dr. Jasprit has a magic wand. She has a center where children who do not have a permanent address, or children who are coming from abroad who cannot give a permanent address, they can also enroll only via, this is the only center in India where children can enroll via an online school. I again repeat, we are not the NIOS registered NIOS center. We are the facilitator of the course teaching. But if you go to the list, find out the center nearby, registered center, register your child with that center. In case you do not find, then the second option is that you can connect with Dr. Jasprit, and she will tell you that there is a provision that your child can online register with her school. Dr. Jasprit, can you please put more light on this arrangement?
So first of all, आप कौन से level के लिए बात कर रहे हैं? We're looking at 3rd, 5th, 6th or 10th?
Yes, ma'am. My curiosity started because he is likely to go in class 10 shortly. As of now, he is in class 7 and is going to 8 next year. But this transferable system, we keep on moving, ma'am. That is the reason I try to figure out how to shift.
So बहुत simple explanation है. NIOS has this basic 2 parts. One is 3rd, 5th and 8th. That is called the OB, the lower system. And then you have the academic classes, 10th and 12th. जो भावना जी बात कर रही है, that is OB. OB is allowed to be online. For example, the study center that I am associated with is an online study center, but that is for 3rd, 5th, and 8th. For academics, academic classes, that is 10th and 12th, you need to register. Now, having said that, please understand this. NIOS is an open and distance learning system. Open and distance learning system. Study center सिर्फ इसलिए चाहिए कि वहां जाके आप एग्जाम दे सकें. ये सेल्फ लर्निंग सिस्टम है. तो अगर आप NIOS का ऑनलाइन एडमिशन कर लेते हैं, द एडमिशन इज ऑनलाइन. मैं 10th की बात कर रही हूँ. लेट्स अज्यूम आपको 10th करना है और ये वेबिनार भी 10th के बारे में. आपने फॉर्म खोला, 10th का फॉर्म भर लिया. वहां पे आपको मैंडेटरीली कोई एक स्टडी सेंटर चूज करना है जहां जाके आप एग्जाम्स देंगे. ओके, उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप वहां रहते हो. आप कहीं पे भी थ्रू आउट इंडिया घूम रहे हो सकते हैं, लेकिन आपको वहां पे आके एग्जाम के टाइम आके वहां एग्जाम देना है. नाउ सर, अब आपका जो वैलिड क्वेश्चन है, जब हम फॉर्म भरना शुरू करते हैं तो करस्पॉन्डेंस एड्रेस के बेसिस पे स्टडी सेंटर की लिस्ट आती है.
Yes, ma'am.
लेकिन अगर उससे पहले आप चेक करना चाहें तो बहुत सिंपल है. यू सिंपली गूगल NIOS स्टडी सेंटर्स. आपका एक छोटा सा एक वो आएगा, उसमें आप अपना करस्पॉन्डेंस एड्रेस भरिए. उस करस्पॉन्डेंस एड्रेस के बेसिस पे जो स्टडी सेंटर्स हैं, दिस इज बिफोर फिलिंग इन द फॉर्म सर. जस्ट गो टू गूगल. दिस इज इट ना, NIOS स्टडी सेंटर. यू सिंपली राइट NIOS स्टडी सेंटर. आपका एक इतना सा फॉर्म खुलेगा, उसमें आप अपना करस्पॉन्डेंस एड्रेस भरिए. लिस्ट ऑफ स्टडी सेंटर्स आ जाएगा. This is something that I recommend to not just you, sir, anybody filling the form. Please identify the 3 or 4 study centers that logistically suit you best, and then please call them, go to them, check with them. पूरा ठोक बजा के, क्योंकि सर आपकी जो एकेडमिक जर्नी है, 10th and 12th का जो जर्नी है, वो सक्सेसफुल होगी या नहीं, वो 90% आपकी चॉइस ऑफ स्टडी सेंटर पे डिपेंड करता है. वो कितने एम्पैथेटिक हैं, वो कितना सपोर्ट करते हैं, किस किस्म का वो सेटअप है, इज इट अ गवर्नमेंट सेटअप, इज इट अ प्राइवेट सेटअप, ये सब गॉज करने के बाद ही do they have neurodivergent children. Because so here another, I think, a very important aspect, I'm sure I'm not, just give me 1 minute here. There are 2 kinds of centers at academic level, sir. There are normal centers which are called AIs, and then you have special centers called SAID centers. Special AI for disabled children. SAS SAID का full form है Special Accredited Institute for Disabled Children. तो अगर हम वो चुन लें न्यूरोडाइवर्जेंट बच्चों के लिए, तो जर्नी और भी ज्यादा इजी हो जाती है. तो पहले आप वो स्टडी सेंटर्स देखिए सर. और फॉर योर स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन, क्या आप ऑलरेडी रजिस्ट्रेशन कर चुके हैं? करने के बाद आपको पता लगा है?
That's correct, ma'am. I was in Delhi earlier, so I registered that time. Then we moved to Visakhapatnam, and there was a center shown on the NIOS website. So I approached the address, but unfortunately, it is not there. It is a big building in which that various complex and other shops are there. So they said that it has been shifted 1 year back to Hyderabad or some other place, and there is no other center reflected, ma'am.
So strange thing is, Bhavna, I'll just take 1 more minute here. This is going a little long. सर यूजली ऐसा होता नहीं है. जो इनएक्टिव सेंटर्स हो जाते हैं वो शो करते नहीं हैं. लेकिन एक तो आप मुझे बता दें, अगर आप आई कार्ड भेज दें तो मे बी कैन चेक विद द हेड ऑफिस. सेकेंडली सर, चेंजिंग द स्टडी सेंटर थ्रू ई सर्विसेज इज वेरी वेरी सिंपल. यू आर सेइंग विशाखापट्टनम में सेंटर नहीं है?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct, ma'am.
सर जहां तक मुझे पता है, वहां हमने एक बार बहुत पहले एडमिशन की थी, तब तो 12 सेंटर्स की लिस्ट आई थी. So,
ma'am, sorry to interrupt, but staying in Hyderabad, I tried to do the same, and the schools that were listed were inactive. And then I called them up, and I'm going now to find out which center is allotted. The centers that I chose, all 3 are inactive.
तो आपका आई कार्ड आ गया, वेरिफिकेशन वेरीफाई हो गया, एडमिशन?
अभी this week I got it.
वेरिफिकेशन आ गया है. तो उस पे जो लास्ट लाइन है आपकी आई कार्ड की, व्हाट सेंटर डज इट से?
It mentioned one particular school,
which you are saying is
inactive. I called up that school. Yeah, I called up that school. They said we are inactive. Yeah, Hyderabad ka, I'm talking like I've registered from Hyderabad. Correspondence address Hyderabad.
A lot of students.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm planning to go to the branch office of Hyderabad to sort out this. Sorry to interrupt. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
No, ma'am. No. Have you been to the regional center, ma'am?
Not yet. So I'm planning. This is for one of my student. I am a child psychologist running a resource room center, inclusive education, which the person was mentioning in couple of
Bhavna,
schools.
if possible, if I can have these iCards, then I can at least take it to the head office. The reason where, Bhavna brings me in is because I fortunately live in Noida. Noida is the city where you have NIOS head office. So, it's just 11 kilometers and I can go across and help anybody who's finding it.
No, now I got your website, ma'am. I'll surely take your help. Thank you, ma'am.
Absolutely.
So for everybody's benefit, we are sharing our a Google form here also, and the email ID, email address, which we will share on the screen also and in the chat box also. All your queries, feel free to write to us. Whatever needs to be forwarded to Jaspreet ma'am, I will do that. Whatever answers we can give, we will do. So please reach out to us. Please write to us. We are here to help you as much as we can. Now, seeing the time constraint, I'm so sorry. And I can see one hand. So that's the last question. Yes, Sumanji, you can please ask a question. Suman? Probably she's not there.
Yes, hello. So actually, as when you started off, you said that a lab assistant is also provided, but I don't see that happening because many of our kids, they're able to do it at home. But when they go into the practical test, they're not able to sit alone and do the test, and there is no one helping him out with that. So this lab assistant thing, even if in a safe center, I don't see it working.
So Jaspreet, this
we
is
have
where
all the
we need
provisions.
your this thing. This is something which NIS claims on its site. This is clearly written there that you will get scribes, you will get readers, you will get lab assistants. In practicality, do we get all that? Ma'am, you will have to unmute yourself.
I'm so sorry. It's been my experience that, an unfair rejection. Trust me, I'm a major NIS advocate. I've never really come across an unfair rejection ever. So, Sumanji, when you asked for the lab assistant, what you meant is you wanted help for the student in the practical exam? That isn't called a lab assistant, ma'am.
Along. Huh?
Ma'am,
Just to be along with them.
So that isn't called a lab assistant. Lab assistant. So basically, ma'am, whether you say,
which exam?
She's saying practical exam. I'm sorry, my colleague is sitting across from me. Which subject, ma'am? Which subject?
Data entry.
They don't need a lab assistant, na? They will get rule for physics and all.
One second. So, ma'am, when you were rejected, were you given a reason?
No, there was no reason.
Okay, so just speak to the person who's saying it. Like I said, I've very rarely seen an unfair rejection.
Just to interrupt, ma'am. We have our children know they have reading issues. Suppose they know what has to be done, but they are not able to read the question paper or practical question paper. So if there was somebody who could just read it out to them and tell them कि ये word document खोलना है और ये करना है, they will do it. लेकिन वो नहीं होता है वहाँ पे. They were just given a question paper and asked to do.
Ma'am, two things. One, let's come to the scribe part later. Bhavna will just take a minute. Like Bhavna has been telling you, we sort of have a center. I have a special needs adult daughter myself. The one recommendation that I gave to parents and something that I diligently do myself. All our students, they visit the study center 7 to 8 times during the year before actually going for the exam. The study center
Ma'am, we did that, ma'am.
Okay,
Ma'am, we did that. We attended, yes. Because when the exam happened, totally new people were there. The assistant had never come there before.
DEO ka lab assistant nahi hota. Long answer. My short answer here suggestion would be, the form is the same. You only have to, upar provision different likhna hota hai aapko. So before submitting to the regional center, don't fill up the provision you want. We all know the form is the same, no? It's on the page 2 when you have the table. That is where you ask for the specific provision. There you can ask for scribe, extra time, lab assistant, translator. So Bhavna ji, translator is given only to somebody who is hearing impaired. So ये ना बहुत छोटी सी चीजें हैं. Lab assistant is given to physics and chemistry exam. DEO के लिए आपको simple scribe apply करना था. So Suman ji, my one simple suggestion would be, because we don't have time, when you're going for the provision this time, after the theory hall ticket or after the practical hall ticket is issued, Please fill the form only the front page. Go there and ask the person. ये ID है, ये हमारे पास. So one of the primary documents with the for asking for a provision is your disability certificate or the UDID card. तो वहां जाके पूछिए UDID कार्ड पे ये लिखा हुआ है और हमें इस सब्जेक्ट के लिए चाहिए, बताइए क्या भरें. डीओ के लिए मैम गारंटी दे रही हूँ, आपको स्क्राइब भरना है, लैब असिस्टेंट नहीं भरना है.
अच्छा,
आपने शायद भरा
प्रैक्टिकल के लिए
provision
बट
गलत
देते
मांगी.
नहीं है मैम. They don't give a scribe, I think, for practical also.
So
Practicals.
ma'am, what we'll do is, one very simple thing we'll do is, this time let me start pestering sir tomorrow only. जो आपका practical का आएगा notification आएगा, I'll ask him to issue it as soon as possible. I'm going to forward it to Bhavna and she's going to put it on all her groups.
I'll do that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I can say. Yeah.
So great. It was seriously, I did not anticipate so many people to participate in it. And, thanks, Jaspreet ji. And thank you, Kaviko. I want you back. I want to see you on screen. And we all want to wish you, you have exam coming up. And Kaviko's parents also, the last word from you. All those parents who are preparing, who are sitting, who are helping their children to prepare, anything, anything you want to tell to them.
For the parents, right?
For parents and the students. Kaviko, what do you want to say to them?
Exam can be prepared.
So basically, I have a point of reading the notes and memorizing itself, and usually I listen to a lot of classes and write in a mocking like past papers and practice like previous mock papers.
So Kaviko, is there something to get scared or afraid of the exam?
It's just a little more scared, but after entering the exam hall only, I can change my mood easily.
You will do very well, Kaviko. There are lots of wishes coming for you. All the best. You do very well in your exam. And I request Riddhi ma'am to share our contact slide here, or anybody from my team who can do it. It is, you can, there is a form also. Sakshi, if you could please share the link of the form. I understand Sanika has already shared it. I request all of you.
There in the group.
Okay, it's there in the group. Just you can reshare it. And the slide. Riddhi, may I request you to put that slide currently so that people can note it down, write down my email ID, Sakshi's email ID, any query, anything, and all those people who want to, share their case with Dr. Jaspreet, I would. So, this is our contact details for any further information. If you want to enroll your child for next coming up batch of Udaan, where your child, whichever subject he has chosen, will be given a support. Every subject will be taught to him in the evening classes. If you want to go for that also, you can enroll with us. Or if you want to go for a 1 month or 1.5 month last minute preparation revision program with us, you can do that also. Please write to us. We look forward to hear from you. And thank you, everybody. And thanks a ton to my team and Kaviko for being part of it and sharing your knowledge.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much
for attending the webinar. It was pleasure again, Kaviko. Heartiest all the best for you. Please do well in your exams. And yes, we have one question that we want to address. Can we have Jaspreet ji's email ID, something that we can get in touch with?
Sure, ma'am. I'm sorry, where did I go?
There is a question from Nidhi.
Jaspreet ji, आप ना इसमें chat box में लिख सकते हो अपना email ID. Chat box
if you could just add in your email ID, Jaspreet ji, that will be amazing. Sure. Yes, Kaviko, did you want to share something?
Nothing, ma'am.
I have another things to talk.
Please excuse
please don't mess out any word.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, families, for connecting.
And write back to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, parents. We'll end the meeting here. We'll wait for Jaspreet ji's email ID here.
Done,
Okay,
ma'am.
so it is Jaspreet
Talwar.
then Talwar 1507@gmail.com. This is
Yes,
the
ma'am.
email ID. Thank you so much again, parents, for connecting. We really valued this time, and we are looking forward to see you in our next webinar. Thank you.
Can you please repeat the email ID?
Yes, it is Jaspreet, JASPR TALWAR. It's right here. I'm just gonna copy paste it again for everyone.
Ma'am, is it okay if I put in my number also? I don't mind. Just send me
Yes, please.
whoever
If
needs
you
to
are
contact,
okay,
please.
please go
Absolutely.
ahead.
Yeah, that
Just
will be
send
helpful.
a message. Yeah, I've just put it in. So if I don't take the call, extremely sorry. Send a message. I will respond. 2, 3 in the night, but I will.
For the ones who wants her number, it's in the chat box. I will also read it out. It's 9811 502 685.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. See everyone.
See you. Bye. Thank you, Ms. Jaspreet,
Thank you
for
so
making
much.
it. Yeah. Bye.